Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to this Cosa Nostra radio production. Cosa Nostra is a family unit located on allpoetry.com. Allpoetry.com, the world's largest poetry community. We want to thank Kevin and the crew for giving us a place to call home and hang our hats. The content and opinions of the people, the callers, and the hosts do not necessarily reflect the beliefs and opinions of Cosa Nostra ownership and management. Enjoy this Cosa Nostra programming.
Hello, and welcome to our house, a place where you can sit back, relax. We catch up on some of the poems we may have missed over the weekend, and we also read some new stuff, and we sit on the couch and enjoy a little bit of TV. No, not TV. A little bit of poetry. Okay, without further ado, let me go to the door and welcome in my second on our house. Hello, Raz. How you doing, brother?
Hello, sir. Mr. JCA. Proud to be here. Proud to be American. Proud to spend another day in fall.
There you go. Who isn't? And it's great to have you here again, and it's great to be in our house. So you get the lazy boy today. Have a seat. And I believe this.
The television set.
I believe this
They
is
can
Candy.
go on my
Is this-
Candy. Candy's there?
Area code 660?
Yes, hi, this is Candy Brown. How are you guys?
I thought it was Candy. I thought it was you. We're doing good.
Sweetest
We're doing
candy.
good. It's great to have.
It's windy here,
And,
so you're kind of coming in and out a little bit, but the sun's trying to pop out, so I'll I'll hang as best I can here.
Okay, good, because I'm looking at my list, and I think I've got 2 poems on my my list. Yep, you sure do.
I do?
So,
Oh.
yes, you do. So you might as well just stick around a little bit, and we might as well start the show off with one of them. And I'll go ahead. The poetic can't even pronounce it right now. I want to say, first of all, hello to Casey, Soul, and Tila out on the board. And the poetic pragmatism. There you go.
Pragmatic.
Oh, you deleted that one. I'm sorry. I see that. Are you still there, Candy?
I'm still here, yeah. Which one do you want me to read?
Okay, well, you deleted the other one, so we'll do the one Hallows Eve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought for this time of year, Halloween's around the corner. I thought I would pop this one in, and might be a good one to get started on. If you want me to go ahead and...
Let me go ahead and put it in there.
And okay, thanks.
There we go. You're up.
Okay. Well, I think this was for one of the Poe contests, and they have them a lot this time of year. And he's one of my favorites, of course, like many. And we were supposed to write sort of in the style of Poe. Anyway, so this is called One Hallows Eve. It was a dark and dreary Hallows night. I struggled by the fire's amber glow. 'Twas then imagination's form took flight, as every lurking shadow murmured, Poe. The hairs upon my neck began to rise. The goosebumps on my arm revealed fear, for when I looked, a ghastly pair of eyes were peering from the solemn shadows near. My heart was pumping louder than a train. The color of my skin turned white as snow. The presence moaned as if it were in pain. I gasped to hear again the name of Poe. What do you want, I asked in frightful breath. My blood had lost all movement of its flow. The air inside the room was cold as death. And once again I heard it whisper, Poe. When I awoke, the clock was chiming 4, just as the wind outside began to blow. And when I moved, a book dropped on the floor, The Complete Works of Edgar Allan Poe. I laughed to think how real the dream had been, my mind immersed in every kind of woe, and vowed to never have these thoughts again. But as I turned before me, there stood Poe. The end.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So it is. It's very in the style of Poe, and I love the way you went with it, because it was kind of almost the Raven sort of feel to it, and you would feel the correct and in sync rhyme scheme that Poe has, plus you put the spooky twist right there by bringing him back to life when he's been dead forever. No, so I really like what you did with this. This is very, very pleasant, right?
I went for
and
a sort
perfect.
of Twilight theme.
Yeah, it's perfect this time of year, and you really nailed it. Raz, what did you think?
Yeah, it does have an extreme sense of meter. You have these exact lines here, and it's all that more hauntingly familiar what the poet has written, how Poe comes around once a season, except for those who constantly look at the complete edition of his work.
Yeah,
That's
he's really
true.
popular.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right. I want to, before we move on, I want to mention a couple things that are going on here. First of all, we have a vote in our topic board. We are pretty much voting for the Unsung Poet Award. Vote for a poet that is not usually does not write for the shows or take place in the shows, and is kind of in the background. And the winner of the vote is going to get a gold membership. We're going to be giving away a gold membership to that particular individual, so people check out that topic. Plus, this is a brand new announcement, and we've done this once before, but we are going to do a collab challenge. Sign up in the topic that Boo's going to create, and then from there, what's going to happen is you're going to be given a random collaboration partner who's also signed up in that topic, and you guys are going to create a poem together. So it was amazing the first time we ran it, and we're going to go ahead and run it again. We're going to put a anonymous vote up at the end, so people can go ahead and choose who wins, who had the best collab, and then in a later show we're going to read the collabs and reveal who won. So I'm excited about that because I really, really enjoyed doing that last time. And it is a fun process. It gets you out of your comfort zone, puts you with someone you may not normally have been going to collab with, and it really does a great job of growing us as poets and bringing us together as a family. So I'm really look for that, and I'm excited about that. And let's continue with our poetry. Right now, we're going to put a little audio from Phil the Poet. It's called Shaft of Light.
This is a poem by Phil the Poet called Shaft of Light. A shaft of light penetrates my decaying wooden heart. A seed of hope germinated to bring a brand new start, pushing away the imagery of dark, lonely winter dreams, evaporating the sadness of thoughtless schemes. Let the light shine through to give me life anew. The leaves gently sway as the wind once blew away the cobwebs of sullen doubts and fears, which have fallen like dust among my peers. Shining into the chink of a dark night's armor, the light envelops the frozen images as never before. Like an eagle I will soar underneath the sun's glow, forgetting about the life of roaming ants far below. A light sparkles in a darkened world of lost hope, where eyes have searched and hands have groped for a way to escape the frost of winter's final kiss. The light conquers as the darkness begins to twist. Singed by the lightest touch of a burning ray, nightmares are swallowed up by the coming day. His light penetrates the stubborn heart of stone, rekindles the spark in the life of the sun, often alone. End poem.
Oh, this is absolutely an amazing thing. This is kind of like we take a look at the dark world that we live in, and the way that that we go forward in it, because we can be that light unto people. We can shine for them and make them better and make this world better. And I love the way that Phil has such an incredible attitude towards this. And I really appreciate him always reading this and bringing it to our attention. He did such a wonderful job. I want to say hello to Forgotten Mage out in the audience as well. Just showed up on the board. Candy, what did you think of Phil's poem?
Phil's an awesome writer, and this is really well done, these quatrains. And that was a good read. Yes, I think in starting out in the first part, he lets us know how important hope is. And it can take us through a lot of, dark times. And in winter especially, people really get, depressed. And so any little glimmer of sun, like I'm hoping for today, because, after a few days of rain and everything, and it's getting darker earlier, and people just start to get in such a slump this time of year. So, hope shines through like that little glimmer, and he kind of carries that theme through, which is, and then I think at the end, rekindles in the spark in the life of the son of Malone. I'm not sure who he's referring to there, but I think, our children give us such a kindle of new life, that kindling of new life. And, that's really an inspiration for a lot of people who write and stuff. So, but he really carries the theme of hope throughout and really well written.
I want to say hello to Running Wolves out on the board. And Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, what the poet is speaking of here is a kind of self-immortalization through verse. They have imagined themselves to be Kierkegaard's eternal hero of tragedy, and so by the act of being tested in faith and in heart and steed, it seems that one is to understand, does this hero really amount to what they're stating in the paradox as overcoming the historical momentum into the universal position, or are they yet again by winter's time being dragged down into that same mortal plane where there is not the glories of the gods?
Awesome comment there. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play the first of two from Laughing Soul here. And this is called Poetry in a Perfect World. Let me find it here. Oh, come on. Of course, there we go. Nope, still doesn't want to. It was working, and then it didn't work, and it froze up on me, but here we go.
Poetry in a Perfect World, a poem by Laughing Soul. Poetry in a perfect world would be a quaint village by a flowing river beneath the canopy of stars. A tattered soul sewn with celestial glitters of love, glorifying its scars. It would rhyme mellifluous with fragrant jasmines and gurgling brooks. Poetry in a perfect world would be a moonlight dance of two lovers, what you read in vintage books. A poem is a womb that delivers a rebirth of thoughts, and a poet is that river a poem chooses to live beside, unfurling its rustic knots. Simply perfect in an imperfect world. Poetry, a cashmere quilt to the soul, from frigid splinters hurled in poem.
Just enchanting, so enchanting the way that she brings that forth, and she always brings such incredible visuals to this. It would rhyme mellifluous with fragrant jasmines and a gurgling brook. that is splendid, because you get the smell and look of the jasmine, you get the sound and feel of the brook itself, and nearly that one, those two lines right there grasp almost every sense that you're dealing with, and to move around and paint it that way, I think, is just a gorgeous way to bring all of that out. So, absolutely splendid poem, Soul. And let me get a comment from Raz first. Raz, what do you think of that?
Yes, this is idealistic. Does have that utilitarian sense that if one had been consumed by this art form to find a higher stimulation, then we could almost encourage the thought of a sense of perfection, even knowing the very flaws of that in theory.
Great comment. And Candy, what do you think?
The way that and so mesmerizing, the way she put these couplets with the music all together was almost like it's so otherworldly, like one of those things you listen to when you go into meditation. Beautifully done, awesome choices that she made. I haven't read a lot of her, but I think she does do very well when she puts all this together. She just sounds so tranquil. It was lovely.
Wonderful comment. Let me see where I'm going to go from here. I think we'll keep on the audio train here, and I will go ahead and play. We'll go down a little bit. I think I have one from Lee. So let me get Lee's poem up, and then we'll play The Shattered Dreams Amassed. Right there.
Shattered dreams. I grieve the time that's past, and the future begged to slow. A rush of moments once so vast, now arid streams diminished flow. A time there was when life beheld a vista stretching far and wide. The child I was could not foretell which path would calm the fears inside. No map to chart the choices made, no signals when you're found off course, for all the myriad ways afraid of what the fates may force. Countless years that counted not, that left a yearning thirst, never to see the future sought, for one whose heart was cursed. Now the past extends afar, and the future is nearly past, and each new dawn adds to the scar, and the shattered dreams amassed.
Well, first of all, once again, it's great to hear Lee's voice, because he absolutely has a perfect reading voice, and that smooth baritone that he brings out really exemplifies his poetry. And I always love his rhyme scheme. Always absolutely love his rhyme scheme and the way he brings it in here. Excellent poetry, and it's a sad poem, and the content of it really speaks for itself, but the overall structure of always what he brings is just fantastic. Candy, what do you think about that one?
I agree. I think this was, I really loved his voice. It reminds me of some of the classics that you can hear on YouTube. And this is another poem of well-written quatrains that just flow so beautifully. One of my favorite parts of this was no map to chart the choices made, no signals when you're found off course. Isn't that so true with, many who have had things in their past and they find, where am I at this point in time? How did I get here? So I think so many come on poetry as a writing a cathartic to, either find out what brought them there or to help them get rid of those demons to chart a new course, perhaps. But anyway, this was really well expressed and deeply felt.
That is a wonderful, wonderful comment. And Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, there is a great sense of symmetry here where you have either the past or the present always coming back to you at a future point. And so what they've measured, the poet, is really an equation that can always amount to the sum of all years, every preceding day coming forward. And as to the dreams being shattered, although they are inform some form of illusion of desire that they cannot come forth right, it does not in any sense alter the existence of this sense of time in which past and present, it has to really lead to that unforthcoming future.
Well, that's a wonderful comment, Raz. You always bring some great depth into the conversation. All right, I'm going to take a little break from poetry to mention a couple other things. This Friday, me and Raz, special time, 10 o'clock, do not miss it. We are going to be doing Haunting and the Paranormal. So that's something to check out. I have checked the weather forecast. I am going to be spending some time right next to a cemetery, podcasting live from the cemetery, taking some pictures, seeing if you guys catch anything. And I'll be doing that for a little bit of time, and then I'll be getting back to my home. But definitely we're going to have some fun doing that. And also wanted to mention that on Saturday we have Raconteur, When Broken Hearts Bleed. That is going to be rumors. So poems about rumors, especially when we're dealing with rumors in relationship. So definitely want to check that out. There you go. And so yeah, we got rumors are a dangerous thing when it comes to relationships. So definitely something to lean back on and listen to, along with open poetry on Sunday at 9 o'clock, and on Saturday it's at 10 o'clock Eastern. So without further ado, since he is having the show on Saturday, let's go ahead and put a little bit of rack on there. Reap what you sow. Here we go.
Reap What You Sow by Raconteur. My mother was known for whipping up potions, so people call me a son of a witch. I hope to one day master alchemy and make my family rich. I have 2 beautiful sisters, born identical twins. They grew up studying magic and dating handsome djinns. They revel in causing mischief, like scratching an insatiable itch, because when it comes time to pay the piper, nobody can tell which witch is which. One full moon, we all went out for a brew, forced to walk because we never learned to fly stick. So we strolled silently, shrouded in shadows, arriving unnoticed in the mood to frolic. Settled only a brief spell. I knew there was going to be trouble. We were towed to abandon our drinks and leave on the double. My sisters cursed the tavern, rotting the teeth of anyone that ventured within, plaguing them with gout and herpes sores all over their skin. The difference between a witch and a princess is the love she's shown. Worship the ground she walks on, and you'll reap what you've sown. End poem.
Oh, I love this. I absolutely adore this. Rack always has a great voice for reading poetry, but this he added the storytelling in there, and the clever, perfect storytelling for this time of year, talking about the witch and talking about how they grew up and their kinship and everything like that. What an incredible tale. Now, before I get any further, she is no witch, but she is the boss here. Boo. Hello, Boo.
That depends who you ask, Jay.
The button.
Hello.
That depends who you ask. You're funny.
Hey,
all right, let me get some comments, and let me first get a comment from Raz. Raz, what did you think about Rack's poem?
Yeah, well, since it's Halloween, you could hear in the back of my mind with one of those lines was Michael Williams in the Blair Witch Project when he realized Josh is gone and Heather and him are completely lost in the woods. He starts asking, which wicked witch is which, the one from the east or the one from the west? Because that's one of the points I would underline as to being a little more of a pun when it comes to witchery.
And let me also, and then Candy, what do you think?
This is so freaking clever and so hilarious. My mother was known for whipping up potions, so I was called the son of a witch. I mean, I love the humor. I love the word witchery in this, the way he writes it through here. And this is really a cool Halloweenish tale. Perfect for this time of year. Awesome writing, and also I love to read. He always brings it, when he comes on to read. I love it. And hello to the Queen Witch, Boo Boo. Hello there.
Boo.
I think she's off in there somewhere.
She
anyway,
is.
I really love this piece.
That's great. Yeah, she messes with the button all the time. Boo does. All right. Now we'll take a look here what we're going to do next. And I think what I'm going to do is put you to work a little bit, Candy.
Okay.
And let me see what we're going to do here. We're going to have you read. I think what I'm going to have you do is read a little bit of Tila. So let me put Tila's poem on the board. And there you go.
Okay. All right. Yes, this one I just read a little bit earlier before I came on. My soul is alive. And you can see the image there. I am stronger. What you see, hear, nothing. I have strength that keeps me going. My pink scarf is a reminder of my beauty. My soul is still alive and healthy. There's a lot said in this piece, and I'm not sure. This kind of reminds me pink for cancer. I'm not sure if this is what her intention was here. I didn't see it anywhere, but that reminds me of something like that where, strength is really important, strength of will. When you have something like that, that can keep you going. It makes all the difference when you have something like cancer or, some major thing that's happening in your life. It's mindset that makes all the difference. And so many have strengths deep down that sometimes they never knew they had that can just keep them going. So this was really filled with that inner strength, and that was beautifully done.
I couldn't agree with you more. This month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, by the way. So it's definitely something that is relatable, that is good to go, and that is set up. So I think that this is an awesome poem to go with that sense of what we're fighting and the survivors and those people we're fighting with. They are all warriors. You know, me as a soldier, bottom line is I totally agree with that concept and everything about it. So wonderful job. And here, I want to bring on, look at who I got here. Mr. Rack, how are you doing, brother?
Look at who you got. Wandering the streets. How you doing?
Yeah, good. You know what? We did play your audio because I wasn't sure if you're going to show up. But
that's cool.
Just incredible. Yeah, just incredible job.
I'll pick another one for later.
Okay, that's fine.
That's all right.
Well,
that's all right.
Boo just loves you to death. That's why. But like I said, I really enjoyed Tila's piece. It was so incredible. Love what she did with it. And let me get Raz. I'm going to have you comment first.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the connections that could be made with the pink scarves and that constant need for survival. Breast cancer is shaded in pink, mental health in green, AIDS in red. And so who chose these colors? That would be the World Health Organization. Why anyone might look at that pink scarf and think of trying to survive fatal illness to the point of physical endurance and the heroic strength.
I couldn't agree more with that. And let me see, Boo, you want to say something about Tila's poem?
Yeah, I told Soul I wouldn't want to judge this contest because all the poems in there are amazing. And I love that picture, actually. That picture is really cool. Strength, it speaks of just strength and making it through, surviving, and it's a reminder of how many women have to deal with this and go through it. And there's so too many. And it's short and sweet, but it's effective and gets the job done with a lot of heart. Good poem, Tila.
All right. And I don't think you got to hear it, did you, Rack?
No, I just got here. But, breast cancer is something that, it's a very visible and relatable type thing. The battle against it is almost unending. I worked for a major cancer hospital in New York, and the most depressing thing I ever heard was the doctor actually said out loud that, there's no money in finding a cure. So, it's really an uphill battle for people that are dealing with it. The ripple effect and the body shaming and the self-esteem is something that's really, I can't imagine going through. It's just devastating. It really is.
What a sad statement. There's no money in a cure. Pathetic.
And Boo, I'm going to put you to work right now, because I know she's listening out there, and she has popped her head into the board, but I'm going to have you read Casey's poem, okay?
Uh-huh.
And say hello to Rooster on board as well.
Daylight come and we want to go home.
Let me sit up. Okay, from Casey Day. Something I wrote in 2017. I lost my passion, and life without passion is cold. It's like a world with no sun. And even though I know I'm only trapped by my own insecurities, I think I sometimes visit that dark place because I find comfort in being somewhere I know. I can go there to escape the world when I feel like I'm suffocating in its snake-like grip. I can go back to the self-loathing blackness and pretend that time is in standstill, waiting for me to be ready. It's a lie. I know it's a lie. It's a sweet kind of lie, like a slow poison full of empty promises and unsullied dreams. Sometimes I just crave a pretty lie because the ugly truth has left me scarred, and I'm dizzy from running in the hamster wheel, going nowhere as fast as my feet will go. End poem.
Wow, I really like this because this is reality right here. This is like taking someone's life, seeing where they're at that point. Because we go through seasons, we go through time periods, and we go through this and that, and ultimately we look towards trying to be better, but sometimes we feel like we're stuck in a block of cement and we just can't move our feet. So I'm looking at this as something, one of those places that you're looking like you want to reach out, grab something, and move forward, but what you're dealing with in the current really prevents you from doing that. So I think this is a absolute brilliant poem in that sense. Rack, what do you think?
Yeah, I love rights like this. I don't know that it necessarily prevents you from moving forward, but the idea of recognizing a problem, for me, it's half my rights. I tend not to get mired in it once I put it on paper. I don't own it anymore. I let go of it, and simply by acknowledging it, it's for me a way of letting go. But what they say, you have to acknowledge the problem before you can find a solution. And this to me is something that sometimes people mistake you for getting mired in the that hamster wheel that she's talking about, and not being able to move forward and being all depressed and everything. But I think you kind of have to acknowledge it. It's what you do next that makes the difference in your life and shows your true character, and that's what this speaks of to me. It's something, she's sharing an experience, but it's not necessarily one that defines her, but it is part of her life, and we all go through that cycle, and it can be devastating at some points, and it's not easy to get over, but sometimes you gotta sit with it for a little bit and get to know it so that you can find its weaknesses and get around it and learn how to deal with it. This is a really great write. A lot of emotion, a lot of mental gymnastics involved in the thought. Great piece, Casey.
Jay, is she talking about breast cancer or?
I don't think so, Boo. I'm not
okay,
sure.
I thought I misunderstood. Sorry. Okay, just checking.
No. Candy, what do you think about that?
I agree with everything that's been said. This is so relatable for so many, and it lets people know, rights like this, that you're not alone. So I think that was one of the things about all poetry is you always can find somebody who's going through something just like you. And here when she says, I think sometimes I visit that dark place because I find comfort there, that reminds me of that saying, misery loves company. And so that other people will go through that darkness just like you do. I think that's the cathartic theme of, what AP has to offer for folks who want to come on here and share, their stories, their ups and downs they go through just like this. Unfortunately, so relatable for so many. But I think that also helps us get to where we need to go, is shedding this out and sharing it too. So well done.
And it's great to see Mocha out on the board. And Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, I can relate to this right on 2017 being just something that kind of happened. No one was positive who was president, but we agreed that it should have been Donald Trump. And so that's like the void that was left there. All we were being informed by the news is that it was all a lie, even the government. And none of that appears to be the actual truth, since technically, in historical terms, the 45th president was, in fact, Donald Trump.
And Boo, what do you think?
Well, I agree with Candy, too. Like, we've all been there. I mean, this site, I actually found this site by accident after my mom died, and I started to share things, and you get support, and people know that you're going through the same thing. I don't know why it's always easier for us to believe the bad than the good, but that seems like we like to self-sabotage. I know I'm guilty of that one, too. And I think it's honest, personal, right? Everybody can relate to it. And I think it's brave to share it, too. And beautifully written that we're all human and we all feel the same. Go through it one way or the other. I think very well written. Good job, Casey.
And I want to thank Candy for calling. She had to leave. And Heavenly Angel says coming up on her AP anniversary, which is awesome. And what I want to do is I'm going to read the next one. And she is out on the board as well. And I'm reading a little poem from Forgotten Mage called Stardust and Sand. And it goes like this. Though the sky is littered with uncountable stars, and I would sooner drown than know the grains of sand upon a beach, I know you. Had I no eyes to see your face, to match your gaze, I would know your touch, the way the tip of your nose tickles as it trails along my neck to nibble at the lobe of my ear. I would know your chaste caress as you gather my goosebumps in your fingers, smoothing them with the heat of your palm. My lips would know the tease of stubble, feasting from the pillows of your kiss to taste your tongue. For we do not linger, lost on an earth where the tickling clocks wait to separate our souls, rather in between the grasps of stars and the grains of sand, between the collapse of reality and the creation of time. We revel within the pulse of your body that echoes in mine, and the memories we take from this life to the next. End poem. I like this poem.
Wow.
I like it a lot. You know, this really, really shows a passion, a knowledge, an understanding, and a yearning all at the same time. It just has all of this stuff blended together, and I think it's absolutely fabulous the way that it is. And I'm stoked about it. It is a great poem. Let me get a comment from. Thank you, Raconteur. What do you think?
Yeah, this is a very poetic way of calling someone your universe, I think. All the metaphors and things like that, very grandiose and poetic and just flowing. The gathering goosebumps was a gorgeous image as well. That there's that level of intimacy, which even though she mentions chaste, that I think adds to it in some ways, because there are times when you're in the middle of something like that it's not really meant to do anything other than be a gentle, calming touch, and I think that plays well into the whole mood that she's setting with this. It's a very familiar and intimate scene that I'm hearing, and there's a lot of adoration in it and beauty. It's a great job.
100% agree on that. And let me get a comment from Raz.
Yeah, there's definitely a sense of spirituality here, mentioning reincarnation from that last line, what you have, what had become of the previous lifetime until the next, and this comparison into what there is of the sand on the beach being exactly like stardust. One can only imagine at what length the millions and millions upon billions of years must go by in order to create that one perfect beach.
That is a great comment. And let me get a comment from Boo. Nope. No, she had to leave for a second. Sorry about that.
Oh no.
Who is that?
Who is who?
You. Do we got you?
Oh my God! You actually hear
board?
Me?
Mocha, hello. We actually got her.
Hi. You actually hear me?
Oh my God.
Crazy.
The audio is working. Hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm late, but you actually hear me today, so that's cool.
And I believe we also have Laughing Soul on the board. Hello, Soul.
Not on the board. I'm right here. Hello.
Hi,
Close to on the board.
Rack, he's confused. Where am I? Hey, Mocha. How are you? So nice to hear you.
Great. It's nice to be here.
And there's Candy, I believe, yeah? Hello.
No, Candy had to leave.
Candy had to
go. No, Candy had
just
to go.
I have to sell for brandy.
I hope I didn't miss anything.
But we got Raz.
So, we got Raz.
I said hello, Raz. I said. Where is Boo? Hi, ladies. Right here.
Boo is here.
Hi, ladies. Sorry.
Hello,
Hi,
Miss Girl. Hello,
Hi,
Mocha.
darling. How are you? Hello.
Welcome to the recital.
Trying to multitask, you know. Hello,
All right.
Jay. I can comment on the poem if you want me to for Madge.
Absolutely.
Mage. I say
Absolutely.
Yes, please.
You're outnumbered, Rack. It's 3 on 4.
This is a beautiful poem. Everything she writes is deep and just,
we're outnumbered, definitely outclassed.
This is an incredible poem. You know what? She writes with so much emotion, so full of everything she writes. I love the title, Stardust and Sand. Through uncountable stars, I would sooner drown than know the grains of sand on the beach. I know you. Well, that first opening stanza is incredible. This is really, really good. This deserves a front page. Meaningful, deep. Did you hear that one, Soul? Did you read that one, Soul? Really good. Oh, no, I didn't get to listen to it, so I was reading it right now. And like you said, you know, I love Stardust Sand. And I got a glimpse of a line over here, which really is, it's enticing. My lips would know the tease of your stubble. This is such an enticing line. And, some unique lines would just stay with you. This is one of them. Between the collapse of reality and creation of time, we revel within the pulse of your body that echoes in mine. How beautiful. Wow. It's a very, very sensuous but deep right. I think this is one of my first poems of hers that I've...
All right. And what we're going to do next is, Raz, I'm going to have you read the next poem for us. And we're going to have you read a little bit of Rick.
Yeah. Okay. Here's The Bird and Her by Rick H. The Bird and Her. There's a bird, she said. I think it's dead there in the beds under the ferns. Will you bury it? She said. down by the edge of the lawn between the peonies. Poor little thing, she said, too young for proper wings. So sad she'll never have a chance. So I dug a grave and with a tissue shroud interred the bird beneath embedded stones, and fresh turned earth, nothing too proud, to mark its rest, but done with love at her request.
Oh wow! You know, everything was a story until that last little triquine down at the bottom, to mark its rest, but done with love at her request. Wow, this is like something, you know, that was a tale, but someone wanted to walk away because they wanted to break the whole thing off. I think that that is a amazing poem, the way it's put together. Rick is such a great writer with metaphors. For those people who don't know, he's probably my oldest friend that I have here on All Poetry, and I think that he did an absolute brilliant job on bringing all those metaphors together. Let me get some comments. I'm going to start with Soul. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, you know that even I love his poems, and you know, I think he's the master of brevity. And The Bird and Her, wow, another great title. I mean, you just don't know what to expect out of him, you know. In just few words, he gets you reeling, you know, with thoughts. And the same over here. I mean, you know, for a layman, it would be like, oh, he's just mourning over a dead bird. But death of a relationship put to rest very beautifully. I think only he can do that. And this is something to take home, you know, like relationships end, but there's so much of venom, you know, later that is, you know, spilled everywhere. So the class that is, you know, shown over here is something that really needs to be taken. Now, beautiful. Rick, you rock.
Great comment. Mocha, what do you think?
I think this was very poignant. It's so simple. It's almost like in between each line, he sort of leaves you this little space to contemplate what he's actually talking about. There's a bird, she said. I think it's dead. It's so simple, but as brevity should be, it's impactful in its simplicity. Brevity is sort of like the master of less is more in poetry, I think, and anybody who can do brevity well, I think is an amazing writer. And I really do like this metaphor and this whole scene that he sets up in the storytelling, because I can see it happening. You know, I've been that person. I've been that she who demands that this poor little bird be buried, and I think it was a really, really, really well written poem. There's so much to infer from this small space of poetry. It was really well done.
That is a wonderful comment. And Raconteur, what do you think?
Yeah, I like the way it reads because, you know, like Gene kind of mentioned that on the surface, you know, the story reads like, you know, it's a dead bird, but the symbolism takes the story to a completely different level and adds all kinds of layers to it and everything. And I think he was, you know, of course it was a brevity, you know, like he usually does. He's very deliberate in a lot of his word choices. You know, he didn't bury the bird; it was interred, interred. But you know, to me that changes the meaning of what happened with the remains. You know, it wasn't just like shoved in the ground; it was interred. So you know, there's a thoughtfulness to it. You know, kind of a respect even. but it does still symbolize the death of something. So, I mean, the whole piece overall has that type of sentimentality to it for me. You know, like much of his rights, you know, he's very deliberate about his word choices, and you know, just he usually isn't exactly what it looks like on the surface, which is what I love about reading him.
Great comment. And Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, I hear a bird and how it's dead, and they're going around carrying it, not wanting anyone to know. It reminds me of that idea how society has its own private secrets, which it does not deem to be found.
Wonderful comment. And Soul, can I put you to work here for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'd like you to read Heavenly Angel, who is out on the board for us.
Oh, yeah. She's another romantic writer like the Ice Cream Man. The Ghost of Once Was by Heavenly Angel. In an old and seemingly deserted house, he sits staring into moonless, starry nights, haunted by memories of a long ago love. Gusty winds blow dry autumnal leaves across stone pavements. They made a dry, whispering sound in the quiet, the sound that ghosts might make if they really were such things. Tonight, he wasn't so sure they weren't. He could feel her presence in every nook, every corner of this house, wandering through the halls, or simply gazing at him with those cornflower blue eyes, or smiling at him with those full puffy lips. Funny what the mind pops up, remembers. As he turns away from the window, he comes face to face with her silhouette, dressed in the ivory organza dress she wore on their wedding day. She smiles that smile that will thaw glaciers in an instant, and lovingly touches his face with a feathery touch only an angel would possess. In a voice soft as silk, she whispers, "I've never left you, my love. I'm always with you, only a thought away." Tears in his eyes, and he reaches his hand towards her. She fades into a glimmering silver mist, yet he distinctly hears, "Forever and always, I'm yours. I love you." End poem. Oh my God, how many are crying now over here?
What a brilliant poem. I'm impressed by this, but let me explain what really comes to mind when I'm reading this. When I was young, my godfather, his name was Floyd Barnes. We always called him Barney. And his wife, Terry, they lived right next door to me. And one morning I woke up extra early. I didn't know why. I looked out the window and I could see the lights and everything like that. And I knew that Barney had died, which he did. And it was kind of tough for a little kid to see something like that, because you had the coroner there and everything like that, pulling the hearse out, or pulling the stretcher and stuff like that. So to see something like that was kind of rough. But ultimately, Terry, his wife, went and stayed out of the house for a while because she just couldn't live in there. My mom would go in and get the mail and make sure everything's okay, water the plants. Well, one day my mom went into the house and she started walking around and she heard a voice coming from the basement, and it was Barney's voice saying, "Terry, is that you?" Sure enough, my mom didn't run out of the house and got my brother to go back with her. But, that's kind of what this reminds me of. It reminds me of love that goes past the grave, where until they can, fully comfort those that are still alive. They really don't like to leave it all. And it was about a week after she came back and to the house, Terry, she went ahead and said she was knitting at her chair, and she just stood there and she felt his hand come on her shoulder, and kind of a feeling that everything was all right came upon her. So it's that situation that I see within this poem, and it's an amazing story, Angel, and I love the way that you put that. Let me get some more comments. I'm going to start with Raz on that. Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, it does state a tragic tale of love that doesn't ever die. But if there is an afterworld where souls are that connected, then one can be sure these kinds of karmic actions might go on. For all we know, even in the slightest moment when we have an awareness that someone is there who we've never seen in any time that we can remember, their presence might actually be felt, but we turn away again and kind of forget that they had kept their promise to see us again that one last time.
Excellent comment. Mocha, what do you think?
Oh, I think this was a very, very lovely write. It's nice to try to think of ghosts in a positive light. I can't say that I have any experiences like you do, JCA, where you have, a nice ghost. I don't think that exists over here, or at least not for me. So to see that she's put what's basically a haunting in a very, very positive light, I think that was very, very used. And at first glance, the picture actually kind of reminds me of, remember the ghost from Harry Potter who haunted the bathroom, the girls' bathroom? She kind of reminded me of that at first, but then I started reading the poem and I was like, oh, this is nice. I thought I was going to be scared at the end of it, but I'm not. So I'm grateful for that. Nice poem.
Great comment. And before I go on, let's bring out the Queen of Dreams herself, Salwa.
Hey,
hello,
hey.
Salwa.
Hello, everyone. Guess who's here?
Hi.
Oh, my gosh, I can't believe it. Mocha. Live. Hi, everyone. I got too excited. Sorry. I got too excited.
Salwa, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And who's there? I heard Rad, I heard GTA, I think it's the Giggle of Boo, and of course Mocha, and then who else?
So, he is here, and
you don't
and
recognize
Raconteur.
my voice, Salwa?
Oh my God!
You missed that voice.
It's a party today, a party.
I divorce you. Oh, let's get married. I divorce you.
A party today, I mean. Okay, I missed the party, so I'm so mad. Okay.
It's fine. That's fine. Raconteur, what do you think about Angel's poem?
Oh, like always, you can fall in love with her words so easily. To me, it speaks of the way someone values love. I think a dedication, because some people, in some relationships, that the only way I could put it is they kind of half-ass it. But this is like with the intention of beyond the grave, the whole forever after thing, and beyond feeling to it. It's like, why do it if that's not what it's about? You're going to give all of yourself, and it's not going to end at the body. It's a spiritual connection. So it speaks to me of all of that when you're involved with someone. There's that connection that builds over time, and it doesn't just go away when the physical body goes away.
Oh, great. And Soul, you read it. What do you think?
Oh, all the time. When I was reading it, all that I could think of was I was completely glued to the scene, from Ghost movie when Whoopi Goldberg, she introduces Patrick's ghost to Demi Moore, and that's the first time she actually sees him, though she tries to feel him. And I don't know if you remember that scene. My gosh, I was feeling choked reading this poem in the end, And
oh yeah,
Angel really weaves it beautifully. Every piece of hers is so marvelous. I love it. That is true love, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When you get
And
here, I'm here always.
Mm-hmm. True love doesn't go away. It doesn't die. It stays with you no matter what, through life, death, everything else. And that's what this says to me, like a lifetime love. And it's beautifully written, and it's something different for her, a little bit different, the spookier side. So I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Great comment, Boo. All right. What we're going to do next is, Sal, I'm going to go ahead and play your SoundCloud next. How about that?
I always forget that I have a SoundCloud.
You always forget that you have a SoundCloud. How could you? All right, here we go.
La poème. Maybe your anger, peut-être ta colère. A wounded river filled with anger, exploding like a volcano, crumbling to impurity, lashing unexpectedly. When my kind remarks becomes your displeasure, rolling my vexation along, full of regrets in your solitude, so hurt I buried it deep inside of me. Maybe followed in vain by gestes of kindness, never erased my pain, endlessly come back again and again. Maybe that's why I left you. Rivière blessée, remplie de colère, explosant comme un volcan, tombant la tranquillité en ruine, fouettant sans faire signe. Lorsque mes aimables remarques deviennent des mécontentements, roulant ma vexation, plein de regrets dans ta solitude, toute blessée, je l'enterrai au fond de moi. Peut-être suivi en vain d'un geste de gentillesse, à jamais effacer ma douleur, revenant sans cesse, encore et encore. Peut-être c'est pourquoi je t'ai quitté. End of poem.
Oh, this is brilliant. This is absolutely amazing. I love this poem. I absolutely do, because it is real. It is what we face sometimes, but you also give us an example of someone who survives this type of situation, because you walked away. And there's nothing wrong with walking away at times if what you're walking away from is absolutely destroying you. And I love that statement and that message. And that's the message that I really, really enjoyed here, because it's a message that more people need to listen to. Have courage. Have enough faith that you guys can survive that type of situation, that you can get out of whatever type of situation is poisoning you, it's draining you. It's like there's a vampire that is just sucking the blood out of you. You guys, people can make it. People can make it, and it's important that we give each other that courage and that understanding that it is possible. So, amazing job. I really enjoyed it, if you can't tell.
Thank you so much, I appreciate you.
Let's start from Mocha. Mocha, your salvo, what do you think?
So do you know my ex? Because
we can put them together.
Oh, it's like in print exactly what I've experienced. Now, I've kind of been that person, like, that lashed out at someone that I love. But I've always come back and apologized for it after, you know. I can recognize when I'm wrong. But this, oh, wow. First of all, I'm going through some little emotions right now. Like, this brought up some PTSD. But I think it's really nice to see that you've brought this specific situation, this emotional situation, to life. Hold on, let me find this line. A wounded river, the first line. A wounded river filled with anger, exploding like a volcano. Thinks that just because they have someone there for them that loves them, that if you truly love that person, you have to put up with every little thing that they do, every lash out. And they might use the excuse, for example, like my ex did, that, oh, I'm grieving, or I'm going through this and I'm going through that. But that doesn't really excuse the behavior. Yes, it's understood that, you know, everybody has their own emotional turmoil, but there's a difference between working through your emotions and venting your emotions to me and taking your emotions out on me. And I think this poem really explored that. It really explained that in the most beautiful, eloquent way, because you are always so eloquent. I just love the way you write. I love hearing you read.
Oh.
I wish you would translate the Bible to French so I could listen to you read it.
There is already translation in French from Bible. But thank you so much, Mocha. I appreciate you. I really appreciate your sweet comment. I'm very genuine. Thank you.
And let me get a comment from Raconteur. Rack, what do you think?
Yeah, I think when you have to face that decision and you finally make the decision that you're going to walk away, it's one of the toughest things, because, you know, you get involved with someone for a reason usually, and it's not easy to admit that you were wrong, or that, you know, what you saw wasn't actually, you know, what was there. So it's almost like reevaluating the whole relationship when it falls apart like that, and it's really tough. The only thing for me, you know, the last line that you say, you know, maybe, you know, that's, to me, doesn't fit the rest of the emotion of the poem, because there is no real maybe about it. You know, that's affirmative as to why, you know, what contributed to why you walked away. You know, maybe almost sounds like you might have made a mistake, but, you know, at that point when you finally decided to walk away, I think it's because you were certain, and there is no mistaking that that's why you walked away. It was to your detriment to stay, and, you know, you tried your best to live with it, like Miss 868 said, but you know, you couldn't deal with it. So you just, you know, you had to walk away to save yourself. You know, it was a question of survival. It wasn't a decision that was lightly made. You know, it's very emotional and tough to deal with. Beautifully said. Eloquent is the perfect word for it.
Thank you so much for bringing up the attention of maybe. I think I really have changed it. I don't know why there is this, like, there's more into it than that. That's why I say maybe there's more than that. So
I feel like that maybe is
I
there
agree.
because you still hold on to him a little bit. You still want to make excuses for him some parts of you.
No, thank you.
There you go, girl. There you go. Soul, what do you think?
She's like, kick his ass to the curb.
I mean, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think the volcano has erupted, guys. Calm down. So, and of course, you know, some relations get toxic. It's not that the love fades, or you know, there are maybes, you hope, but you also know that it's not going to work. And take like how we read, the earlier poem that you just bury the birds, in a very respectful way, and burst like a volcano and just pack your bags and move away. That's the only way, when relationships keep getting into a ping pong kind of, the to and fro, and all you do is you are talking sweetly, you are giving love, and what you get back is not something that you expect. Even you want to hear something that's loving, that's sweet, that makes you feel wanted, and you keep on compromising to the extent the cord then finally snaps off, and the survival is in moving away. Otherwise, the embers are going to burn you down more than the other person. You feel for the other person that, if I leave, then, maybe he'll be more hurt or she'll be more hurt. But eventually you are hurting yourself more than anything. And I think in a very sweet way, in a very sweet note, there's no harm in saying that I need to move on. So, Salwa, great thing.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say, like, what Boo said. I think Boo said something. Boo, when you finish, I would say something. I'll let you say something.
All right. We're gonna let Raz make a comment, and then we'll let Boo.
What I say, Salwa? Okay. Wait, what I say, Salwa?
No, when you finish, I want to say something. No, when you finish. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
We'll let Raz comment next, and then we'll let you, Boo. Raz.
Okay.
Yeah, I think what there is to the blues is that some women find men to be no good, and then you have other men who don't trust women, and so this is why relationships tend to not always work out like you think they originally would.
Thank you.
Excellent comment. And Boo, you got it. Mike's yours.
I have nothing to say. No, I'm just kidding. No. Well, no, that's not true. Sometimes you got to cut the losses there when you get to the point where remember my sister told me one time, when you have more bad times than you have good times, it's time to roll. And I think that's
Amen.
What you say here. A lot more poetically, though, of course. And it's a wounded river filled with anger exploding like a volcano. That's never good when you get to that point where you just want to destroy each other and hurt each other because you once had love, and then all of a sudden it turns to hate. And if he's not giving you what you need to bounce, Pretty simple. But we stick around waiting for change, it never happens. Great poem, Salwa.
Yeah. You're right. Absolutely. I think, there's who said love always remains? No, sometimes when there's so much violence, it really kills the love, unfortunately. There's no hate, but it kills love. I don't hate, but it does kill the love. Whoever, I don't know who said it. But anyway, thank you, everyone.
All right. Next up is Boo. Boo, you're next.
Woo.
I don't know if she can find the button.
Sorry. I'm on the button. I'm not on the button. Sorry. This is a quickie, so I just got to get over there because my screen's jacked up. Okay, this is called Heartfelt Heartache. It goes like this. Okay, sorry. Unspoken truth behind lips sewn shut. Bitter words hanging on by a thread. What needles pierce falling from the eyes, lost stings from the old wounds that bled. Expertly woven lines and obliterated promises, broken prose in every verse left here alone. Stanzas, can't see where it is. Shards of my mutilated heart litter the floor
welcome my love to my new humbled home. And boom.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You know, once again, this brevity is taken, and she just absolutely nails the concept of not writing poetry, but writing emotions, because that's what she does. She takes emotions and she puts them into words. And this right here is a perfect example of how, you know, shards of my mutilated heart litter the floor. Welcome, my love, to my new humble home. I'm like, damn, you know, you're holding back so much, Boo. My God. No, Boo holds nothing back. She just throws it all at you, and if you can handle it, it just goes down your throat and explodes right in your chest. Amazing job, Boo. Let's start the comments.
Sawa, don't worry,
Sawa.
it's not literal, Sawa. Sawa, I just want to say that.
Sawa, the button.
No, she didn't hear you call on her.
No, I was actually because I'm in my car. I didn't want to hear all the noises. Boo, thank you, Boo. You know how I think. That's funny. It's really. I mean, if you didn't tell me, I would think it's really coming from a heartbroken pain. But you write emotion. Maybe a different experience. Maybe I love every line and spoken truth behind lips won't shut. Sometimes you want to say something, but you hold on, even though you put your emotion, but you think like you keep it for yourself, and then boom, bitter words hanging by the thread. They're almost like ready to go, and then when the worst thing is when promises, with exaggerated promises, broken, frozen, every verse left here alone. And my favorite one is the last line. It really did bring it, as Zifi said, and full of emotion, shards of my mutilated heart litter the floor. Welcome, my love. How wow, Boo. I mean, how do you do this when it's not real? We put so much emotion like this. This is really...
I told you that is her forte, is to write emotions. She never writes poems. She writes emotions. So
that's incredible.
Thank you, Sawa.
Oh,
it is.
Pleasure.
Raz,
this is really great.
Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, there's definitely a whole other level here of having your heart fall on the floor. It's said in beautiful words that you just want to pick it up from there, put it back in your chest, and go on beating.
Oh, thank you, Raz.
And Rack, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the real story is in the penultimate verse, what leads into that last and at the ending of everything, when she's talking about the prose in the verse, because you know it kind of feels like there's deception involved and being misled about what's really going on, and people holding back and kind of lies of omission. And that's as heartbreaking as being kicked to the curb yourself, or being that's lies in its own right. That's very emotional, like you said. And like Sal was thinking, it's not that it's not true, because it's something that you experienced before. You may not be experiencing it now, but once you experience it, it's a feeling that kind of doesn't go away. So to be able to draw on something like that, you only have to feel it once, and you'll recognize it forevermore. And it's that feeling that doesn't go away. That really lingers, and it's kind of haunting, which is appropriate for the season, I guess. Very emotional, yeah. Like everyone said, Boo. Beautifully spoken.
Oh, thank you, Rack.
And Mocha.
This entire show feels like my ex right now. No, I'm kidding. Partly.
I got it tied up in the back.
I feel like, in a way, they're both lying. the unspoken truth behind lips sewn shut. This could be her holding herself back from saying all the things that she's unhappy about, as well as him not saying what he's unhappy about. And it sort of just ends up being this horrible lack of communication where they both sort of isolate themselves from each other. And now it's not like they're both going through something together. It's sort of like they're both going through something separately and against each other at the same time. And it's leading to this whole fallout that happens in the end, with all of these woven lines and obliterated promises, because nobody's speaking up, nobody's saying what they're unhappy about, nobody's ready to have that uncomfortable conversation and admit that maybe everything is not all right in this relationship. And they sort of just slowly grow apart and like let it fall apart. Well, that's what it feels like to me, this emotion. I think this is so well done. Boo is so intense emotionally, and I love that. That every time she writes something, I'm just like gobsmacked with emotions, and you just have to sit there and marinate in it for a little bit. I love that about Boo.
Oh, thank you, Mocha. You're right. Got to communicate.
That's awesome. And Soul, you're going to get the last comment, and then we're going to put your poem on the board.
Oh, honestly, said this poem is of the season, the Halloween, where Sue stands at the door with a dagger in her hand. You know, come on, you little boy. Welcome to my humble home. Swoosh. Every line is a splinter, is bleeding, is so heartfelt, is so broke into bits and pieces and shattered into shards. And it is so because love actually, is a very strong cord that ties two hearts together, and to reach such a point is heart-wrenching. And the line is so perfect: wet needles, tears falling from eyes. It's either the relationship wasn't ever meant to happen, or one of them was fooling the other. So in both the ways, it's a very touching tale, story that finally calls for death. Fantastic. Boo, you are just amazing writer.
That is great comment. Thank you. All right, and let's get this next poem up for Soul.
Oh. Broken Song of the Night Songstress by Laughing Soul. Heaves and sighs, nightingale, dares not flute melodia. Strings broken, chords frozen, shares not her rhapsodia. Erratic tides, brumous phases, veiled cherubic flutters, crimson dreams, ashen heart, swathed primrose clusters. Whistles and trills, gurgles and laughs, her soul bedded all. Flutters now a silent song on wings of darkness, linger shadows on bent bow, and scarlet notes are hearkened. Awaits the songstress a dulcet crescendo. Stars, her unsung chirrups echo. Fall, softly quells the night russet, and the muse her broken song bellows, and the muse her broken song bellows in
Wow.
Fantastic read. There is quite a story in here. I love your AN talking about the legend here. One legend tells how nightingales once lived in India. When one nightingale visited Ukraine, hearing sad songs from the people, the nightingale sang its song to cheer them up. The people responded with happy songs, and since then, nightingales have visited Ukraine every spring to hear Ukrainian songs. That is, I think that is absolutely cool visual there mixed in with your words. There's almost the sad song of Ukraine mixed in with what you wrote here, the happy song of the nightingale piercing everything. I like how you went here and kind of grabbed a hold of the legend and just put it all in grand emotion. This is an absolute brilliant piece. And I heard a wow from Salwa. So, Salwa, what do you think?
I mean, I really never cease to surprise us every time. You just really have such a beautiful verbiage and imagery that's just, and you never repeat. That's the beauty of it too. I didn't know about this legend. It's really fascinating how birds can affect us, like nature can affect human beings. This is really, the concept itself, what's happened, it's blown mind for me that this is really happening. And then how you brought it to life with the contrast, whistle and trills, gurgles and laughs, her soul bears it all. Flutters now a silent song of wings of darkness, linger shadows and bent bow, and scarlet notes are hearts. Everyone is awaiting. I feel like this is all at the end. Await this the song of this. Like literally, everyone is awaiting for that. Fall softly quells the night russet and muse her broken songs. But it could be also metaphor. This bird doesn't necessarily really is a nightingale. It doesn't surprise me with you. You have always hidden things in there that you have to. So I there's so much in there. I can go on forever. I really love the rhythm. It's like a song. It's like a melody. We brought it up like a melody. There's this rhyming. Incredibly beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Congratulations for gold. Well deserved. I see gold there.
Thank you.
Beautifully done.
Thank you.
Did you dream about this before you write? Was it how did you get inspired? I'm just fascinated.
Mocha, what do you think?
Yeah. Oh, this was so beautiful. At first, when she read it, I was like, is this sexy? Is this supposed to be sexy? And then I got to the bottom, and then I read the end, and I was like, no, you pervert. Don't be. It's not supposed to be sexy. But I do get that sense of sort of melancholy. I thought the same thing. I'm glad it wasn't just me. I do get this sense of melancholy from it. So the heaves and sighs, and at first she dares not sing, and then lower down, whistles and trills, gurgles and laughs, her soul bared it all. It was almost like the bird was depressed, like the bird herself was sad, and just like how she told the story, and perhaps this nightingale that visited people were sad, and then what had happened was she heard songs, she heard laughters, and perhaps the giggles of children, and that inspired her to not be sad anymore, and suddenly begin to sing. You know,
actually,
that's kind of what it felt like.
Actually, actually don't mix both the things, because I was looking out for a photograph of a nightingale to attach with my poem. I wrote it first, and then when I was looking out for the photographs, I happened to read this note about the nightingale, and I felt I should include it because it really was something so unique, and something that I don't think anybody had read about it. So so it goes like that. And Mocha, you were right about the poem about the nightingale being sad in the poem. So I think it's just a all about oh God, we need some wine after this. Sorry, guys.
And Rack, what do you think?
I like using the bird as a metaphor. Quite often I kind of think of love like a bird. That whole, if you hold it too tightly, you're going to smother it. It's got to have its own, either of its own will. You can't. And the idea of also the song, because when a bird sings, it makes everyone happy and it's expressing itself. I like those thoughts wrapped up in this, and reading it with that in mind. It's like Mocha noticed. You do get the sense of it being sad because love can be heartbreaking as well. Because the only people that could really break your heart are the ones that you love, because those are the ones that you get the ability to hurt you. Anyone else, it's like, well, I don't care. But, when someone you love feels, then it really affects you. So it's a beautiful thought and very well expressed.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And Raz, what do you think?
Yeah, this is definitely a fact of which all of us could learn, how the nightingales were in India, but no longer frequent there. And so there's a sense here of the poet wanting to bring back that kind of night song.
Thank you. Nice thought.
And Boo, what do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was like Mocha at first, but then I was reading it, but then I saw what the nightingale symbolizes, like muse and creativity, and so maybe this is like a broken muse or a sad muse or something. I was thinking, but I know that she's sad. I'm not sure why, but it's beautifully done. I always want to know the backstory, so I'm nosy. But flutters now a silent song on wings of darkness, lingers shadows. She's really hurting, and maybe she lost someone who she looked up to or she cherished. I think maybe. But it's very beautifully written. I like the softly quells the night song. I like what Raz said about the song being silent. I think that says a lot. So great job, my friend.
Thank you.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, the nightingale
everybody.
doesn't have your dagger, so she's sad.
She doesn't have that.
Hey, everybody. Let's say cock-a-doodle-doo. Hello, rooster.
Oh.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? Rooster
hey,
here.
Rooster.
Hi, Rooster.
Hiya, Mooch. Hiya, Bubbly Boo. Laughing Soul, Raz, Raconteur, JC. Anybody else I've missed?
Hello. There's a lot of people at this party.
Some fantastic poetry this afternoon, isn't there?
I know, Rooster, you got something to read for us. If you want to go ahead and drop it on there so you don't spend too many quarters today.
Yeah, sure thing, JCA.
Or too many pounds. I forgot. You're over there.
Pennies, man.
Okay.
Hey, JC.
Yep.
JC, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, sir.
I need a lady collaborating partner. I wonder would Mucha collaborate with me on this poem?
Sure. Is this the one that I'm thinking about?
Yeah, Mucha, the one we were going to do together, but this would be even better. What do you think?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go for it.
Can you play the part of a frustrated bride?
I think I can.
and I'm your listening concerned doctor. Would that be okay?
That is fine by me.
Right. Whenever you see the word bride, you go, and whenever the doctor, then I go. Are you okay? You're sitting comfortably, ready to go?
Yep. Poem on the board.
So here we go. This is called Frankenstein's Frustrated Bride.
Wait, put the poem on the board.
I did, didn't I? I know.
No,
it's up there. Rooster put it up there.
It is?
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
I'll put it up there
Let me
again.
refresh my phrase. Last thing I saw was Rooster saying he's hanging on. Oh, okay. I saw it. I see it.
Are you ready to go, Mucha?
Second. Okay. Let's run. Ready?
All right. You go first. You're the bride.
Dr. Frankenstein, I am in despair. My hubby needs a lightning jolt.
Now, young lady, be calm. Settle down, or else you'll pop a bolt.
But doctor, it's so darn frustrating. I can't stand that monster anymore.
Why? What's up? He's tall, green, and handsome. Is it perhaps you find him a...
Doctor, that's exactly it. Nothing's up with that big baboon. He ain't got a clue.
Lady, dear lady. Ah, the penny's dropped. Try giving one of his bolts a screw.
Doctor, he's hopeless. It's a facade. Man, you're really cocked up. Or should I say, I wish you had. That big hunk of meat is dysmorphic, dysfunctional. Below waist is dead. His nuts on his neck, and bloody heck, soft sausage flat out on the deck. So fond farewell. You can both go to hell. I hear Dracula's much better in bed. End poem.
Oh my God. Beautiful. Rooster. Oh my
Dang,
God.
his nuts are on his neck.
That is too funny. Yeah, I know. And this is just so funny. Rooster had to drop, folks, so he can save a little money. But he is listening. He did a wonderful job. Mocha, just a beautiful read. That was perfect. Fabulous job.
Yeah.
Rooster's comedic level is just through the roof. It's beyond comprehension. Let me get some comments here. And Sally can't stop laughing, so Sally, you're it.
Oh my gosh, this is Irish sense of humor. It's really funny, and you read it so beautifully, Mocha. I mean, great choice you picked, but really beautifully done. And it's funny and hilarious, but in reality, sadly, it really happened. I hate to say this, but it happened. And I mean, he touched on something very sensitive, but he turned it so hilarious. Incredible. The poor bride. Really well done. And the last stanza is hilarious. The last.
Dracula's better in bed.
Exactly, right? Dracula is much better in bed.
He bites. That's like that. He bites.
And I got to ask Raz what he thinks about that.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's like one of those old night gallery skits where you have Rod Serling making fun of the supernatural. There's definitely a comedic charm here, which actually disowns the macabre for the fact that what there is to say of the devil might just be a sick, satanic joke when you look at it through black humor.
And let me get a comment from Raconteur.
Yeah, I love the sense of humor. The double entendre about the bolts needing a good screw and things like that. I kind of want to say they should have went to a witch doctor because they could raise the dead, but his sense of humor was outstanding, though. He really played up the joke well, and that was an excellent read, Mocha. I'm not sure if English is your first language or not, but you definitely read it as if better than most. You did a great job with it, and it played well with his accent too. I really enjoyed the whole thing, the whole piece.
And
thank you, Rex.
Soul.
Yeah. Oh Lord, like Mocha, you read it so. I can't get over it. Doctor, that's exactly it. Nothing's up. That big baboon ain't got a clue. Oh my God, made my night. I mean, this is the last poem. I'm sleeping now. I just don't want to stop laughing. Oh gosh, what a ride. Rooster, you are amazing. I love reading you, but I enjoyed hearing you and Mocha read it. Amazing. A fond farewell. You can both go to hell. Oh, Jesus. I can't get over this piece. And it's about Doctor and Bride. So was this the first night? I mean, you got scot-free really fast. People live for 40 years and then they realize oh, what the heck, what was I doing in this? So, so this was a good one, yeah. Too
and
funny.
let's get a comment from Boo.
Oh, shit. But he picked the perfect person. And she read it so well, just off the cuff. She read it so good. I mean, it's the perfect person to ask to do it with. This is just hilarious. I mean, his nuts on his neck. I think his nuts are in the wrong place. And the whole thing is, oh my God, it's perhaps find him a bone. And then the ending was amazing. That, Mocha Dracula's better than he bites.
For sure.
Awesome humor.
I think we really needed this after everyone crying over a bloody dead bird, So
you can't all smile.
We should have higher levels of sexual magnetism.
Yeah.
And
you know the problem with
last
this
comment. Last comment to the reader. Mocha.
Oh gosh, Rooster had told me about this poem a while ago, and he had asked me to read for it. So I'm actually glad that we got to do it this way instead of having to record on it. This was a lot more fun. So I did have a little inkling of what we were gonna do, and I had it in my mind how I was gonna read it from the first moment that I read this poem because it's so hilarious. In my opinion, I'm so glad he asked me to do it. Oh God, I just love his sense of humor. I love that we got to do this live, and I love that everybody's just cracking up as much as I did the first time I read it. Soul can't breathe; she's about to bust her gut open. And I really love that she went to Dracula in the end because we all know that vampires have the best sex. Let's just put that out there.
Well, vampires suck.
All right. All right. Well, I hate to bring the mood down a little bit, but I am going to read mine next, and I went a little darker. So this is called Falling Castles.
Yeah, you downer.
Yeah, I know. This is called Falling Castles, and it goes like this. Squeal as an infant on broken glass, mirrors brittle from the bony hands, fingers spreading ribs to the pitch, licked the orange popsicle, sitting shroud in the shadows, picnic at Cinderella's castle. Barefoot boy lake waiting, Zebco reel and 7-pound test, the rusty can slits the heel. Headless scream, squawked death, sips of the endless bourbon shots, falls that bought the brain damage, vacancy at the rubbed genie's lamp, feet that floated to mist or fell in the cemetery plots, body the Dunstanburgh ruins, crumbled, rubble scattered, the eye with no lens, ghosts slip from the reach, palms sliced from the barbed wire, my shovel never filled the holes. End poem.
No.
Oh, damn.
Wow. Well, now I'm somber. Damn it. Just kidding. Soul, what'd you think of that one? Oh, Soul, did she drop yet?
The button, Soul, the button.
She's too busy laughing. Okay, Mocha.
Gosh, JCA always delivers. And it's a love-hate relationship with how well he delivers on poetry sometimes. I get the sense of a sort of twisted fairy tale from this, because he says, lick the orange popsicles, sitting shroud in the shadows, picnic at Cinderella's castle, as well as vacancy at the rubbed genie's lamp, feet that floated to mist or fell in cemetery plots. Kind of like he's hoping or wishing for a happy ending somewhere, and he's not getting it at all. It's so it's almost a little bit heavy with these sort of dark emotions, sort of not longing, but lack of fulfillment, perhaps, would be a better way to say it. And is this another 10 rank one, JCA?
It might be.
He got an 11.5.
No,
somewhere.
And this is why I hate him. Like, he's so consistently good. God damn it.
He's freaking obsessed with the 10.
Could you just laugh
Yesterday
for
he
like
got an 11.5. So, who knew that a pen went past 10? I had no idea. I barely get any 10, so I don't even know. But Rack.
Yeah.
Racky Poo. Thank you, Mocha.
Yeah. There's a lot of imagery in this that feels like a broken childhood to me. The ice cream was the first, and Cinderella's castle. You know, that's things you do as a kid, and then the Zebco is you know, fishing reference to the rod and the reel. So again, I took that to be, you know, something that you did as a child as well. The bourbon shots, so you did it with your dad possibly, but the endless bourbon shots, I don't know. It almost feels like that's what crushed your childhood. Even though I don't know what your relationship with your dad might have been, but it almost sounds like, you know, seeking his approval and you weren't able to find it. Really, really layered. You know, there's a lot that's open to interpretation that you know, it's hard to pin down. A lot of sad, soulful imagery of you know, a childhood, but what led to those emotions is what's kind of missing, and you know, just leaving me hanging. It definitely has a somber and sad feel to it, but you know, I don't see what it is that's really crushing you, what's causing your anguish.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think this probably speaks more of, like, you know, your prior addiction, right? Or am I not reading it right? But I kind of want to see. I'm going to read it again. But Sawa, what did you think?
I feel like, I don't know why, I feel like Raconteur, there is something about maybe started in childhood, but not necessarily only childhood, because you speak about beginning some broken glasses and infant, and then you say barefoot boy, lake wading. There's something that's missing. There is definitely some broken, like something cause pain, and then you move on to goth lips from reach palm, slide from the bar wild, My shovel never filled the holes. There's something missing, like someone who trying to accomplish, maybe filling something in life that's still missing. These holes are not filled yet from childhood. That's what I see. It's very abstract. Yeah, it's very abstract, but that's what I see. I would love to hear after everyone comments what you have to say, GCA. But because I'm really curious. But I think there's still right to say something then.
Do you
okay,
want to
I will.
I will.
I will let you guys know what it means after this, and
okay. Because you're so hard
razzle dazzle.
Yeah, I look at Fallen Castles as the dream is over. What you have John Lennon stating in God. There's all the beliefs you start off with in early childhood. Cinderella's castles might be real, or going through one and more challenging trial of development in which you have to just finally cast away those childhood dreams and bury them in the dirt.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Did I miss anybody?
Now, Boo,
No.
Yeah, Boo, it's your turn to try to figure it out.
Well, I see this like, you sort of like, probably way off, but my mind's trippy, But I think I kind of see like you were living in the fairy tale, or you made up your own fairy tale because you couldn't handle your own life. Your own life was hard and rough enough, so you escaped in fantasies. That's sort of what I see. And then said vacancy at the Cub Genie's lamp. Like nobody was there for you. Nobody was there when you rubbed that shit. Nothing came out. Nothing happened because, it just looks like a life. I'd say like this, but a lifetime of just sadness and disappointment. And it's affective and emotional. And I hope not all true.
Okay. Let me explain it to people. That first triolet is kind of an introduction to the whole poem. It kind of is bringing us to a point of being sad. Then, as the second and third one is my childhood. Okay, I actually went to Disneyland down in Orlando as a kid when I was 6 years old. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what that is a part of. And I grew up at a late...
You're starting to notice that things aren't right.
Yeah. No,
right?
no, Boo. Let me finish. It was actually a great time.
Yes.
It was a wonderful time. Now, I keep on talking, if you've seen other poems of mine, I keep talking about losing the boy that was once there and losing its innocence to adulthood, to going, becoming addicted to different stuff, going into the military and everything like that. That's where I talk about the bourbon shots and the brain damage. And the missed wishes and everything like that, and the vacancy at the Rub Genie's lamp, feet floated to the mist, or fell in cemetery spots. Those are the people that have left my life. The people who've walked away or have died. Now, Dunstanburgh Ruins is a famous castle over in the United Kingdom. That is pretty much almost collapsed in. It's still beautiful and stuff like that, but there's almost nothing inside. And there is more reference to me, and ultimately that I'm talking about the loss in my life and pretty much the pain towards the end of the life. And so it's a walk through a life is what it is. So I hope that explains it there.
Disappointing, I think a lot of it says disappointing, and I think a lot of people feel that way. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I don't have the 2.5 kids, the white picket fence, and all that other shit. We're all disappointed that way. So, I mean, shit, I don't know anyone who's happily married or even really happy, to be honest with you. That's pretty sad. So, good poem, Jim.
So, Salwa, did that help you explain everything?
Yes, indeed.
Salwa, the button. The button, Salwa.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, yes. If it was read multiple times, probably I would have cut some, because I noticed you talk about this boy a lot in your poetry. That's true. Mm-hmm. How you change. Mm-hmm. So now I see it. Now I see that you walk us through it. Thank you.
No problem.
We're the wars, and now you're John.
Happy ending, because you deserve it. You deserve a happy ending too.
All right, thank you. All right, next up here, we're gonna do a little mocha. So everybody, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy mocha.
Thunder Awakenings by Mocha 868. She had these dreams, which were not all dreams. Images fluttering in and out of frame, like trying to photograph a hummingbird. Flickers of deja vu in the new. Recognition in the unfamiliar, knowing in the unknown, pictures of past presents, flashbacks of proxy futures, translated into whimsical fiction, a misplaced nostalgia. She had these dreams which were not all dreams, but everything feels like a dream to an estranged existence. End poem.
This is so amazing, the way you read this and the way it's brought forward. Just a fabulous poem. This was written to the prompt "I Had a Dream," which was not all a dream, by Lord Byron. And you absolutely grabbed a hold of that and turned this into your poem. And brought some incredible pictures and turned this into just a fabulous overall piece of art. Let me get a comment from. Let's start with Raz. Raz, what do you think of this?
Yeah, here we have the opposite effect, where one does not let go of dreams because they linger in the subconscious mind. And so in Thunder Awakenings, there's a part which might stay permanently asleep to reality, and I think that creates its own level of sadness, what they're aiming at towards. But you could have those brief moments when you feel awake again and can actually realize there is a reality by comparison of always lingering in the subconscious mind.
Great comment. Let me get a comment from Raconteur. What do you think of Mocha's poem?
Oh, it was definitely dreamy. It kind of made me think of The Matrix a little bit. Am I dreaming or am I awake? That kind of a feel to it. There's a definite feeling when you're in that dream state, and the questioning of what's real and what isn't. On a grander scale, there's a lot of times in my life I sit here and I wonder, what's a dream and what isn't, and that kind of thing. And sometimes when you're happy, you feel like you're dreaming. So there's that thought that I latch onto as well a lot. It's a euphoric and almost drug-like state, I think, and it's something that's easy to lose yourself in. And that's the feeling that I kind of got with this was, it's getting a little lost in it between her voice and the words. Beautiful done.
Hey, Rack, don't you love the honeymoon stage, Rack? That's what she's talking about, I think. I love it.
And so, what do you think?
I don't know why I had this impression first time I read it different. Now that I heard it again and the title got my attention, Thunder Awakeness. It's not something happy necessarily. That because you talk about also picture of past, present, flashbacks, of proxy futures translating to. There is some nostalgia, but there's also when you say Thunder Awakening, it's like a painful awakening. It's not something happy. So I'm confused a little bit here. I think it's a mix of two. How dreams sometimes, and it's true. Sometimes dreams give you this feeling that they're not dreams. They're like you've seen them before. Déjà vu. I have this. I know it happens to me, so I believe you. You see things that you know that you've seen it before. Yeah, so that's what I see here. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's where it took me. Very beautifully read.
Yeah, maybe Mocha can go explain to us a little bit more when she's done. Boo, what do you think of Mocha's poem?
Probably going to look like, I always do, like a pervert. No, I think, is that your picture, first of all?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, that's what I need to see, honey.
And that is a real hummingbird.
You are gorgeous, huh? Whoa. Okay. I was distracted. What perfect skin you have. Jesus. Anyway, I see this like more like two people coming together and like realizing that the shit that they worried about in the past doesn't really matter now that they're there. And I see like the sort of I hate to say it like this, but orgasmic in the motion of the poem. Like I kind of see more of a meeting, like just leaving everything else behind, and then you two are going forward, and it's hot, and you're glad that you waited. I don't know. I'm probably way off with just a perv, but that's what I see. And I think your read was beautiful. Matches your face.
Thank you, Boo.
All right. Next up, I think I will put in. Let's see if I can find it here. We might stay a little bit after overtime as well, folks. So we're doing our best to get everything in here. Oh, where is it? Oh, I might have to refresh I'm going to have to refresh. All right, let's go with this way then. Let's play. Let's do Naomi since she's out on board. Let me get this one rolling. Here we go.
Oh, just rambling on. Methinks I don't know where I put my brain. I try to put words together in such a way as to express my innermost feelings, trying to prise open a gap to embrace the paradox, which is this person named I, and walk the tightrope with panache. Oh, yeah. Well, that started out not too bad, but holy shit, where do I go from there? I just get jumbled up syllables. My thoughts drift away to Neverland, and nothing comes out. Well, except for this right here, which, well, let's face it, is disintegrating into absolute nonsense. I'm just totally lost in the dreck of my daily life, which dulls my spirit, leaving me stranded in the in-between spaces, feeling like putty, filling the gaps between now and when anything happens. Fancy lines to say basically, I don't have a damn thing to write about. My mind wanders about. I ask myself how many new medicines can be discovered in plants, animals, insects, bacteria, and all the species of living beings. Ask myself if I really am kind-hearted. Most people think I am, but maybe I'm just an infected, filthy bug. Lowell. Can we put Lowell in a poem? Oh, and heck. Lowell. Perhaps that's why most men I date disappear. I'm just some slimy serial bacteria killer. They all die of a slow, agonizing disease. I wish. Oh, my crazy mind just won't shut up. A never-ending pulse race. Like knowing you don't want to jump off a cliff, but not being able to talk yourself down from it. So smack. Well, there I go. Now I'm a bloody, dismembered corpse, lying in a deep pit somewhere outside of La La Land. Darn, I'm thinking that it's as if I can't find my brain, as if I went and trumped myself. Pretty sure someone, probably more than one, must have already used that line. I could be cool. Oh, it would be cool. Yeah. The gods carry guns around. They could shoot at the friggin' sun, and I'd finally go the hell to bed. But hey, lucky me, it's fucking Halloween, and all those little buggers will come snotting all over my door, keeping me up half the night. Geez, I'm freaking my own self out right now. Sure won't win no Pulitzer with this one. Well, maybe if I take out the Trump line.
Oh my God!
This sounds like a complete manic conversation.
Bravo! Oh my gosh, Naomi, you just absolutely killed it. That was great. Oh
my God.
Yeah. Well, bottom line is, I could see this kind of on stage. This is almost like a little bit of a soliloquy where someone comes up and just pretty much just tells us all the shit they're thinking about. This is actually play worthy. This is stage worthy. I mean that is so great. I loved it. I want to know what Mocha thinks about this one first of all.
I love Naomi so much. I love every single thing that she writes. I haven't found a single thing of hers that I don't like. It's so uniquely her. It's always so witty and a little bit sarcastic. There's always this nice bite to it. She's freaking hilarious in the best of ways. And Boo's right. It did sound a little bit manic. It kind of sounded like she's just been like on a bender in her house all night under quarantine. She's sitting there drinking a bottle of Jack, like straight from the bottle.
And like she does it all the time. She just chit-chats herself.
And she's just sitting there and she's talking to herself in the mirror like how I do. Like, oh my God, you're such a crap writer sometimes, you know, like just going through this whole thing. I could have seen it in my mind, and you're right. This should be like a play. We should make this a Naomi production because I would love to see her perform this. When she got to LOL, can we put LOL in a poem? I love that. I love that she constantly challenges like what you think poetry should be, or what you think the voice of a poem should be in writing. It's so cool. I want to be Naomi when I grow up.
Get your psych meds ready.
and everybody, Naomi said it's vodka, but Rack, what'd you think?
Yeah, it's a beautiful stream of consciousness. I could see it as a stand-up routine for sure. You know, it's for me, semantics, different wording, but the same expression. Trying to say, she said she can't find her brain. It's like saying I lost my mind. To me, it's kind of the same. And Naomi, check behind the bed. When you lose something, it always falls behind the damn bed.
Don't forget to pick up your scripts.
Mine's too small to be out on its own. So.
Oh.
Raz, what'd you think?
Yes, it's perfectly sarcastic what she's written, and I would nominate it for the Pulitzer Prize, but I don't have that kind of power, even with the Trump line.
You can nominate it to the front page, though.
Yeah.
Stella, you can't stop laughing. What'd you think?
I know she can't.
I agree with everyone. I just love her. I'm glad she's back. She's just like a Boo, kind of different, this attitude. She doesn't shy from saying what she thinks loud. Never. Whatever it is come to her mind. And there's so much beautiful sarcasm, and I call it Naominism. really her. She let it all out in a moment of I guess here I was thinking really before she said vodka. I was going to say, what did you drink? No, now we're doing it. It's really beautifully done. Beautifully done.
Vodka
and Boo, you get what?
Keep drinking vodka. Keep drinking vodka.
Yeah.
Boo, what'd you think?
To me, this is kind of like you're watching a breakdown. Like she's just breaking down. She's mental, maybe manic, maybe schizophrenic, but it's entertaining, and it's like, wow, pick up your meds, It just seems so. I've seen this conversation. I probably had this conversation. It's just like you're looking from the outside, someone losing their shit, and also who doesn't give a fuck either. So that's what makes it even better for me. And she's always just right there for whatever's going on. She'll just tell you. If you want to listen. If not, keep going. And I like that too. It's a very unique, trippy poem, and I love those kind of poems. Good job.
All right, next up we're going to do a little Titus. So here we go.
Director's cut, Romeo and Juliet. I quote, "Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek." Sliding off my chair almost onto the floor, roses which you see are reds unlike others, Earl Grey or chamomile. A fragrant odour, leaves I must get used to, stirring lovers. A spoon, for instance, now, rotating one way. Do chaperone the next, follow on from there. Used Christmas cards in a box that I do lay, glittering as bright a love the first time, eh? Such small mercies, the shell from Verona, now Mantua, one immerses deep within the twilight zone. Facing the wall alone, the eyes will enact, the love scene begin. Star-crossed lovers, Juliet now, let us hoist. Elevator morning, deep breath, surprise, the first kiss, must reveal less flesh, moist lips to water, not wine. Look into our eyes.
Wow, this is just absolutely gorgeous. A couple interesting things that I take from this is we have some wild chamomile plants that grow in the little meadow where I live, right outside my door here. So it's kind of neat to see those. And that tea is a tea kind of when you want to become calm, relax. So I think this whole thing is just a glorious love fest and love letter. I have been to Verona, so yeah. So that's another thing that I love in here. Beautiful, beautiful town, and I love the way he just always puts these great love letters for his bride. And you can see his love all the time coming through. This is brilliant, Titus. I absolutely love it. Classic and just incredibly you. Let me get a comment. Let's start with Salwa on Titus's poem.
I really love this one. Truly, this is one of my favorites. It's so he created his own story of Romeo and Juliet. He said director cut. His love for his wife. I almost think talking about first love, first kiss. That's what I see here. Where is it? Now, where the eyes will enact the love scene. Star-crossed lover, Juliet. Now let us hoist, elevate a morning deep breath. The prize. The first kiss must reveal less flesh, most lips to water, not wine. Look into her eyes. The eyes are so telling. It's a very classic love. It reminds me truly of Romeo and Juliet, and of course Verona. That's where Romeo and Juliet the story. Yes, it's just loving. I really love it. And he actually had a word bank. I think he created this from word bank. Incredibly beautiful, classic, and romantic and passionate. And I think one more thing. I think the questions, sometimes little things remind us of memories that to take us back to these moments. I think that's what those questions probably take him back to the chamomile and the gray. That's what I think. I had to say that.
No.
Thank you.
Now,
beautifully read.
The whole thing about it is right there in Verona, they have 2 gates, and there's a tunnel that connects the gates. And one of them is the gate of Juliet, and the other is the gate of Romeo. And when I was in Verona, I actually got to visit the gate of Juliet, and I thought that was absolutely brilliant, and I love that whole thing. Let me see. We got a couple minutes left before we go into overtime here. And let me get a comment from Mocha on this.
Yeah, I like to call Titus the modern classic because everything that he writes, it so resembles classical literature. It feels like classical literature when you read it. It's just that he's got a little bit of a modern twist to it. Everything that he says is so graceful. Like, for example, a line that really caught me: a spoon, for instance, now rotating one way, do chaperone the next, follow on from there. Like, it's such an intricate and graceful way of just bringing the image of a lady stirring her tea, and he brings that sort of elegance to everything. He can kind of make small moments feel like they're an entire play within themselves. Just the facing the wall, a loner, the eyes will enact the love scene begin. It's like the picture you see is just these persons sitting there perhaps having tea, but the entire story is in the subtlety, in the eyes, in the small gestures and moments, the body language that he's trying to bring to life, all of these little intimate moments, these little intimate romantic things that he admires from his Juliet. It's so beautiful. I could go on and on about this for days. Like, we could sit here and dissect it line for line, because that's the type of writer that I realize that Titus is. I've not read a single poem from him yet that I cannot sit down and dissect this like a literature student in class. And I think that is amazing. I think he's definitely sort of pioneering modern poetry, in my opinion. This was a beautiful, beautiful poem.
Wonderful, wonderful comment. Well, before I get more comments, I'm going to do my thanks because we're going to cut out here in about 30 seconds. I want to thank, we're going to cut out from the board, not the people on the call. Thanks to Raz, Candy, Rack, Mocha, Soul, Stel, Rooster, all for calling. Casey, Tila, Mage, Wolves, Angel, Naomi, all on the board. Everybody else who wrote for us, we're going to do a little bit of overtime here and try to get the rest of the people read. But awesome show. Thank you, everybody, and thanks, Boo, for everything she does. Don't forget about the collab challenge and well, we're off the air with them now. But for everybody who's on this phone call, we're doing a collab challenge. Sign up, and what's going to happen is we're going to randomly pick your partner, and you're going to get to write a collab with them. So it's kind of a team-building thing and something very unique
and
that we're going to do.
And the winners get a gold membership, Jay. Each one gets a gold membership.
Okay.
The winner.
There you go. There you go. So let's keep this going and get a couple more comments for Titus. Raz, what did you think about Titus?
Yeah, there's a fine sense of direction here where you have the poem imitating the play, and at the same time it's supposed to be a motion picture. So, this combination of all those forms intertwined, it's like a layer of one work of art that imitates another work of art that's also simultaneously its own separate, distinct type of work.
And Rack, what do you think?
The rumor is Titus is a direct descendant of William Shakespeare if you trace his family tree back far enough.
That makes sense.
Well, I got a show coming up, and the subject is rumors, so I had to start one.
It's rumors. I was just going to say that.
The layers of Shakespearean references in this are like Jay says, a brilliant touch. It's I think what gives it its continuity and appeal. I love not just the Romeo and Juliet, but the reference to the rose as well. One of his poems, if I'm not mistaken, was that comparison to the rose. It's just the beautiful language that he uses. It's an homage to the master himself. So I wouldn't be surprised if Titus's real name was Bill. Great poem.
That's a great comment. And lastly, we got Boo. Boo, the button, Boo.
The button.
The ball
gag. I was going to say, anytime a man refers to you as something from Shakespeare, you're doing pretty good. That's a great compliment. That's what he compares it to, like the life story of him and his wife compared to their story. And like, wow, it's no romantic story, so that says how he feels about her right there. And that's beautiful. And the language, like Rack said, is gorgeous. And he's like Marius. All they do is ever proclaim their love for their other half, and I just think it's so cute and poetic. So there you go. Great job, Titus.
And let me get Raz. You're up, my friend.
Yeah. This
This
one is called Purge Twice a Year. And so far it had that one comment from Samuel Ludke. Wherever you are, Samuel Ludke, thanks for the support. Purge twice a year. February purified cognate to the Lilly Pharmaceutical Relay. Heralding cascading brigade shells for the Green Beret dirty hustling. Santa Monica Pier drowned, appointing a pregnancy due date with the water breaking. The potential leave will result in Planet City, an Epcot-like survivor colony to nature gone wild and killware fanatics. Sucked out, maintaining a crucial sea level rise. Lake Tahoe is a baby toddler, 15 feet crawl to the sand bucket. thin artist poster of Lake Erie, bait and tackling the red eye to the middle palm, a plausible red herring. Incoming moment of absurdity. The high Arctic camel pedestal was thirsty for the visual snow. Physical fear experienced no this mode. Life unspoken lived in the back of our minds. A 6-year-old kid who realized war. A teenager which compared the growing compound of itself to the manic machine. A college bachelor which dreaded political science debates because of genocide. Soft blows rocking the electric socket, visiting the execution plate of hard times. Outside stimulation correspondent partially revolutionized the stem sapling to manufacture genetical reproductions in the dual states condemnation. The psychokinetic energy filtered the synchronous thoughts of joint cooperation animated motion. Folly Bridge has the dual counterpart to the secundum sectorum, contrasting litigation by the secondary logic tenacity. Desperation predominates loneliness, constant need for the no-fear policy and the custom border patrol hauling rope. No one messes with Daddy's boat. The gentleman confided while the unseen premise was threatening retaliation or gargle moonlighting. Dolphin package with Iranian bombs in the Suez Canal when the anti-aircraft vessels detect zero ground coverage or intelligence support of the Russian sonar utility submarines. Jack Ryan had been forcefully handcuffed to Peter Madden after mugging a wallet from William Beard at the criminal court building. September 10th, 1914. Pete slipped custody to never be heard or seen from again. 30 days in September, another 335 would know better. End poem.
You know, I see you all over the time-space continuum here. Going in the past, the current, the future. All over the place on this. I'm taking a look at different things. I know you put mystery in there, which is kind of awesome because there are different mysteries intertwined within what you put in there. You know, like I said again, you're great with putting in pop culture, current events, you know, stuff that has happened in the past and everything like that. I do vaguely remember the missing toddler from Lake Tahoe, and or something about a toddler in Lake Tahoe, and there's a vague remembrance of that, you know, and different areas and different things that you put here. Once again, your mind is just mind blowing. You kind of blow up the rest of our minds. I just get up to the
fact I can mention ancient camels and include dolphins that carry bombs in one poem, so, you know.
there you go. Rack, start us off, brother.
Oh, man. She's all over the map. I mean, from the beginning, you mentioned Eli Lilly, and that was it. I was like, you know, lost because, you know, I know they're a drug company and everything else, and I grabbed, you know, the Tom Ryan, the spy reference to Tom Clancy, maybe it was, the book Tom Spy Clancy. Reference.
No, that's a real event that happened, and the man's name was Jack Ryan, who was cuffed to Peter Madden. They never found him again. Ryan. Yeah. Oh,
okay. See, I didn't know. I heard the name from the fiction. What is it? Patterson that writes the Jack Ryan series.
Clancy,
but
right?
Yeah. Oh, it was Clancy. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I recognized him as that character. I didn't realize he was based on a real name. That's really cool. I mean, you know, you constantly do that to me. Some of these references that I hear and I recognize, you know, from being popular through Hollywood and whatnot, you know, that are based in reality, always slip past me. And I love how you can tie them together. You know, you go from like everyone says, from A to B, and it's there if you have the time to peel it apart and look at it. And it's really not as mysterious as some people think. And I think that's what's cool about the way that you write. You know, you lay it out, and you know, people could say, "How did you do it?" And you could say, "Well, it's there. I see here, and then it connects to that, and you kind of pick the doubt and point out the questions that we should be asking. So I really appreciate that about the way that you write.
September was a hard month.
September was what?
September was a hard month.
Yeah, I caught February in September, but I the significance of it, is still, if you said April, I would have said, okay, tax month, but February only makes me think of Valentine's Day, and September, I'm drawing a complete blank as to the significance of that month. So that's twice a year.
Some of that is merged with stories that appeared in the news, but they're distorted.
Okay. Oh, I was wondering about the 2 months, so you answered my question. I was going to ask this question, why February and September? I really was curious. So thank you for answering the question. You constantly read, like you are so well read, and I don't necessarily know these facts, so I really I felt like I got educated what happened from the past to the present. And I think you're talking about, I might disagree with Raconteur. I agree with GCA about mystery, because I think you brought up mystery from the past to the present, maybe that are not solved or solved. I'm not sure because I'm not familiar with them again. But you just don't know how you have a very curious mind about what happened, events that happened in the world and well read. That definitely shows in your poetry. So well done, as always.
Folly's Bridge is Roger Bacon. And that was a famous philosopher 500 years ago. But there's that place over in Britain, and they recognize him as a Grand Master. And so that's the midpoint of the whole poem. Where do we go from one point of what we learned, and all we end up with, again, is just the months of the year, would be kind of the point.
Oh, wow. I see. Thank you.
And Boo, what do you think?
Sorry.
I think she's going on vacation.
I got stuck on the beginning, I got stuck on the pharmaceutical part, and I just started thinking about Lily and how much stuff they're involved in, really. I mean, just my mind goes there. But talk about they're just in the middle of everything, age discrimination, sexual harassment, hostile work environment, just to name a few, but that's what I got stuck on in the beginning. But when I first met you, I was like, wow, this dude is is he for real? Mm-hmm. But then just know that you are, and it makes it so much more interesting. And you're just so, I hate to say cute, but and you're just deep, and it's just, I love your personality. It has nothing to do with the poem. God, all right, focus, Boo. But it's just the point is it comes out in the way that you write, and even if I don't know what you're talking about, I still feel it every time. And I mean, I would love to know. This is another one you could pick apart. All of your poems you could pick apart, piece by piece, and still get something different. I think you're talking about, it seems to me you're always not complaining, about what you see from your point of view. You're over it. You're tired of it. And you want to see change, but you don't really see shit happening. I mean, that's what I kind of see. Then again, you live in Miami, too, so it's kind of get it. Their place is crazy. But anyway, good poem. I'm going to shut up now. Too much coffee.
Yeah, there's not that much change in Miami. I was walking around at 6 o'clock in the morning watching someone break into a car. So that's what you would expect from the former coke capital of the world.
There you go.
Yep.
And
the pill mill. Don't forget the pill mill. Yeah.
And Mocha, what do you think?
I'm not going to pretend that I understand every single one of Raz's references. I'm not American, so a lot of this kind of goes over my head. No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. And I tell Raz this every time I comment on a poem. I don't get everything, and it's gonna take me a while. I'm gonna have to come back and do research and write a dissertation to fully understand Raz's poetry. But one thing I do understand about Raz, and what I will say about his writing style, is he has this very intimate command of his language. He knows exactly what he wants to say and how he wants to say it. He has a very specific way that he uses words, very purposeful. And you can tell that when you read it, and even more when he reads it, because he reads it with this conviction, and he almost reads it like he's, I don't want to say preaching, but like telling you, like he's lecturing you, like he's educating you. And that is something that I love. Like, I always feel like I learn a little bit of something new when I read one of his poems. And it's so deep. Like, it upsets me that I don't understand everything because it's so deep. And I know that it's deep. I agree. I don't need to understand every reference to know that it is deep, and this man is like spitting right now.
Well, wonderful comment. All right, here's what we got, guys. We got 4 poems, all right? So what we're going to do is we're going to give each of those poems a comment from the person who may read. I got 2 that are going to be readers and 2 that are going to be on audio. So we're going to get 2 each comments on these. And Mocha is going to go ahead and read this first one for us.
Okay. This is called Facing the Eastern Beach by Miss Irish Rose. And it goes like this. The warm, humid light hangs thickly, outlining the Orinoco palm held in my memory. You're still here, hidden in our secret garden, left quietly alone. Your blue Adirondack chair silently still sits there, gracefully facing the eastern beach, nestled among verdant afternoon half-tones, where thoughts and conversation once flowed freely, coursing, then bouncing, in between long, frayed, draping shadows that night caught falling softly, racing across those broad, folded leaves, filtered coolly, commingled in our bold hyacinth laughter, still feeling the warmth, tasting only of the sweet, recalling the days of Boca Raton and the we. End poem.
All right, I'm definitely commenting on this. This has such a wonderful feel to it. The specific descriptions, the Adirondack chair, the Orinoco palm, the different parts of it that just, they're specific. They're there so you can grab a hold of them, so you can look them up, so you can think of them better. And then mentioning of the Boca Raton at the end there, I think that this, like I always say about Irish Rose, she brings such a great feeling of control of the human language to her poetry, and this right here is exactly the example of what she does, and I think it's fabulous. Mocha, you read it. What do you think?
Oh, I think this is beautiful. The picture caught me first because the imagery is so very Caribbean. So I related to it immediately. And her descriptions as well, the light, the palm, it gives you this sense that she's sort of reminiscing. It's very nostalgic. It's very kind of filled with love as well. And yeah, she has this, as I was reading it, my voice, I think you could have probably tell from how I read it, took on this sort of dreamy, emotional tone. And then that's what I felt sort of imbued into every aspect of the poem. The racing across those broad, folded leaves, coolly commingled in our bold hyacinth laughter, the way that she brings all the plants, all the flora and fauna in. I can picture I think the memory that she's trying to bring across, which is her and perhaps her lover, enjoying their vacation, just chatting and having these lovely intimate connections under these palm trees. I think it's beautiful. And the last line really was the best. It was a nice cap off, recalling the days of Boca Raton and the we. I like that she says it like that, the we. Like it's a thing. They are an item, and it's understood that they are. I think it was really beautifully done.
All right. Excellent. Let's see where I'm going to go here from here. I am going to go ahead with doing Rob's poem next. And then we're going to do a little bit of something special. So let me get this playing. Here we go.
Sketch shades of grey disarray. Do you know where the playground goes? The sawdust forest falls, the more we grow. 1. Rust moves through sand, absorbed by roots, sunk in the sandbox pots where the sun hides in shade. He grows barbed wire thorns along his stem, and nail petals sting the bees which momentarily settle. 2. Monsters crawl from under the bed, up the bedposts and slither into sheets, where their phallic teeth sink deep, leaving wounds which don't form scars, but cover the stars' immortal darkness. 3. Locked shut in the corner, shunned to wear a dunce hat, once prince to the chessboard throne, he crawls as a fallen pawn, prism desk lamp unplugged, fade to black, conveyor belts carved puppets, rainbow flames doused tame. 4. Metaphysical metamorphosis, butterfly cloaked in chalkboard eraser dust from graphite cocoon schools, full bloom spring crayons, shrouded in grey scaled moth straitjackets, chanting the mantra, chasing light bulb heights until death. 5. Drawers of graphic bars hold wooden block playthings, trapped by genital-shaped locks and symbol chastity belts which bind blindly. 6. Handcuff wrists break out when a mind is chained, roaming the streets throughout day and night. 7. Spring sows seeds of suicide, selling false advertised elvish lies, hung from Christmas tree strings, starving yeast bubbles pop, carving bottled sugar mania. Lithium bridges lead over the valley of hanging, darkness spread brightness between the bookweights of the seasonal equinox, batteries spark spiking at full voltage, illuminating the lilac months in the waste garden. Chalkboard mirrors face the school uniform days, red glazed eyes stalked into alleys, there children go to die.
Well, bottom line is, we got someone who's a little noisy in the background, but here, I'm going to put the picture that this was inspired by on the board, and I'm going to start the comment with Bella.
I see it. I mean, there's a lot, as always, and the read is fabulous, as always, Rob. Sketches, shade of gray, and the three. We can see different sketches in every, almost like stanza. There's the one that got my attention, the monster crawl from under the bed up to the bedpost and silver. I mean, not necessarily like monster, real monster, maybe thoughts and I think scary thoughts, maybe, because we talk about suicide too later. Thoughts of suicide. It's very dark. Darkness spread brightest between the book weight of the seasonal equinox. I really see red glazed eyes talking to Alice, the children. Their children go to die. I'm kind of stuck. I don't know. I'm not gonna really. I haven't read it multiple times because this is the first time I hear it, and has require to read it multiple times to get the hint of it. But I really see a lot of darkness in here, and scars and pain, and That's what I see. Suicide, even. I'm sorry, I just like this story.
Oh
sorry,
no, it's okay. That's perfectly fine. Boo, what do you think about that?
Oh, I think that, well, I mean, there is a lot here, but I think it's talking about when he says children go to die, like your lost innocence, your lost hopes that he lost long ago, especially living like in this third world country where nothing's easy. And, rust moves through sand and absorbs its roots. It kind of reminds me of family, maybe, that, I got over there, but it's like close to childhood. I mean, chalkboard. Yeah, there's a lot. I got to admit, I don't really know exactly because I'm kind of lost too. But I hate to say that, but I think it sort of has something to do with lost childhood. But I have to read it again too.
And we got one more poem that I'm going to do. And Raz, what time is it?
Yeah, you want me, of all people, to represent Lawrence 67, don't you?
Oh, I do. Absolutely indeed. So, here you go.
All right. I think I could do this for you.
You're majoring.
Yeah, but I'm not quite the stage performer, and Lawrence demands a proper teleplay. And so here's Laughing Soul and Tila Get Really Mad by Lawrence 67. The Adventures of Nigel the Fat Cat and his homie Alfie and Laughing Soul and Tila got really mad. Laughing Soul. God darn it, Tila. Tila, what's wrong, Soul? Also, I overheard GC talking fast. Do you know those two doggone cats are planning an ambush? Tila, who? Nigel and Alfie? Also, yeah, them sons of bitches. Tila, those two cute kitties, they're funny. They make me laugh. Ha ha. They're harmless. We're the ambushing, Soul. I saw us. Tila, ha ha ha. Us. Who, you and I? Laughing Soul. Yeah. Tila. Oh, Dookie, I'm going to get my finger file, cut those cats into little pieces, those Peter Pecker and Pickle Pecker heads. Laughing Soul. Heck yeah, ambush us. I don't think so. Let me get my sneaker on my puss ambush, my ass trophy. Alfie. Man, Nigel, were they mad? Nigel. Yeah. Did you hear all those near cuss words where we didn't plan to ambush them? Alfie. I know, we like So and Tila. Nigel. I wonder. Ralph, leader of the notorious Chihuahuas, a Hispanic dog gang.
Oh, that is always great. That's always great. Rack, I want your opinion first.
I read. I'm kind of at a loss for words. I think I love the idea that he wrapped up Nigel and Alfie with Tila and Laughing Soul. So yeah, they're the subject of gossip, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. It is the gossip. Those darn Chihuahuas. Raz, you read it. What do you think?
Yeah, Lawrence is definitely trying to bring in the group with his Nigel and Alfie strip, and that's a considerably good thing. As to the appearance of Ralph, the Chihuahua dog, I myself was touched that there was a bit of his bark to his bite.
Yeah. You need to do one about Raz next, Lawrence.
Okay, and I guess we got to let Stella and Boo comment. So, ladies.
Yeah, I love the line. Tila, who's Nigel and Alfie. So yeah, them son of bitches. Son of bitches. It's hilarious, and you read it so well, Raz. It's just. I'm gonna send this to Tila and Sol. They're gonna laugh their head off.
Yeah. I think that Raz. I love how you did the voices. That made it better for me. You just tear it up every time, and right from you don't even practice or anything. I think that's funny, and the dialect between those two is funny. The whole thing's just funny, you know. I don't know. I just say pass it over here.
I think Raz.
All right, everybody, don't forget the voting for people who are not in the shows. Don't forget the collab challenge. Sign up today. Don't forget me and Raz's show on Friday, special time, 10 p.m. Don't forget Rack's show about rumors on Saturday.
Rack, tell us about
and
your show, Rack, real quick.
No one.
Saturday. Yeah, let Rack just tell the show, Jay. Go ahead, Rack.
Friday show.
Well, I mean, JCA said it. The rumor is the show's on Saturday, and the rumors are true. So,
the rumors are true.
Bring us a story. Rumor, innuendo, lies, gossip.
Shit, honey, I got too many of those. Which one?
It's all fair game.
Dirty laundry, the Rolling Stones.
You know, somebody asked me that, so I thought it was kind of funny, but somebody asked me, did I have something like a real rumor? And I'm like, no. Poetic.
Huh. Open poetry on Sunday as well. No, it's not. It's our birthday on Sunday. So get that straight, Jay. All right.
Yeah.
And with that, we are going to let Boo paint it black, folks. So thank you for a great show, everybody.
See that red door. I'm out.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Love you. Thanks for staying. I don't know what I'm doing here.
This has been Our House. We have to lock the doors, give the keys back, and say goodbye, everybody. This is JCA signing off.